Hello. Welcome to the Sunday, September 27th meeting of the Natural Rights Sangha. As you know, if you've been here before, if you've looked at our introductory uh, tapes on YouTube about the precepts and the various practices and recommendations and just the introduction itself, you know that we have weekly meetings online. And they're online because, well, one, with the virus thing going on, that is, we can't meet in person, but plus we're dispersed all around the world. People in India, Japanese people, Spanish people, people in America. We have many people around the world, so we can't meet in person. So this is the way. And these meetings with me, Mark, here online, which appear every Sunday morning, at least Sunday morning European and American time, probably in the afternoon in India. These meetings focus on the precepts, and you can see the precepts at our website, naturalrightssangha.org, and look at about them, hear about them in many parts of our YouTube channel, which is a Natural Rights Sangha on YouTube. Now, we always start with the meditation. So please set your timer for 10 or 12 or however many minutes. And just to warn you, I don't have my gong with me. I'm on the road. I'm no longer at home on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. I'm on the road for a while, and this is being recorded in Spokane, actually. Good old Spokane, Washington, the biggest city between Seattle and Minneapolis, which shows how few people there are in the northern part of the United States. All right, so let's sit up straight, relax, feet flat on the floor, back pretty straight but comfortable. I like to close the eyes just for this amount of time. Set your timer, and when you hit go on your timer, please stop the tape. And when it goes off, you can start it again. So, focusing on the breathing. This is a mindfulness meditation, not a guided meditation or a quest for something. It's just to relax and be. So, ready? Go ahead and set your timer and let's meditate. I hope your meditation was a wonderful one. As I make this today, I talked to one of the most wonderful spiritual people I know. I talked to Robert Wolfe, WLFE, on the phone. I've mentioned him in at least one meeting before, but Robert Wolfe is the man as far as I'm concerned. And he's one of the premier writers about spirituality. Um, look him up under Robert Wolfe and Advaita, and he'll pop right up. And some of his books he has online for free, which is a great blessing. And his writings could not come more highly recommended, as people who are at the highest level of my spiritual respect have told me that this man is on it. He's right on. He writes the truth. I knew instantly when I started reading his books, this man was there. And Robert lives a life of peace, tranquility. He lives in a small town. He gets to walk with nature every day on this beautiful trail. And he'll take the time to observe a beetle crawling, being chased by ants, or a butterfly and what it does, the birds going in and out of a nest. He'll just absorb all of it while he goes. Just thinking about Robert Wolfe brings a smile. Okay, now this week we have a special treat. This special treat is courtesy of our friend Robin in Santa Barbara. And Robin and Linda are a wonderful couple, and they have a home they now call the Temple of Everlasting Grace in Santa Barbara. And they have hosted spiritual teachers for years there. And they have a network of people they contact saying, so and so is going to be here in 2 weeks. Maybe they need a reservation, maybe not, depending on who's doing what and how popular they are. But they do this for free. They do this out of love and sharing spirituality. They're wonderful people. And Robin sent me this very interesting email. And before I read it, I'll mention that my friend Ted had a different experience with Spinoza than this. He had a Christian theologian who I believe misquoted or misused Spinoza's teachings in a negative way when Ted was growing up on the East Coast, down south, that is, on the East Coast. But in North Carolina, down south. That makes sense, I know. But so that is out there, but these are his actual words, and I'm going to read them because to me I cannot imagine that these words do not sort of exemplify exactly how we of the Natural Right Sangha uh, are living or would like to be living. And so I'm just going to read this, and sorry for my glasses, but here we go. When Einstein gave lectures at US universities, the recurring question that students asked him most was, do you believe in God? And Einstein always answers, I believe in the God of Spinoza. Baruch de Spinoza was a Dutch philosopher considered one of the great rationalists of 17th century philosophy, along with Descartes. And Descartes, of course, is most famous for I think, therefore I am. But here are writings of Spinoza. Spinoza. God would say, stop praying. What I want you to do is to go out into the world and enjoy your life. I want you to sing, have fun, and enjoy everything I've made for you. Stop going into those dark, cold temples that you built yourself and saying that they're my house. My house is in the mountains, in the woods, rivers, lakes, beaches. That's where I live, and there I express my love for you. Stop blaming me, God, for your miserable life. I never told you there was anything wrong with you or that you were a sinner or that your sexuality was a bad thing. Sex is a gift I've given you and with which you can express your love, your ecstasy, your joy. So don't blame me for everything they made you believe. Stop reading alleged sacred scriptures that have nothing to do with me. I apologize. That was supposed to be off. I'll continue. Sorry about that. I turned the volume down to 0 and obviously it didn't catch. Sorry. So stop blaming me for your miserable life. I never told you there was anything wrong with you or that you were a sinner or that your sexuality was a bad thing. Sex is a gift I've given you and with which you can express your love, your ecstasy, your joy. So don't blame me for everything they made you believe. Stop reading alleged sacred scriptures that have nothing to do with me. If you can't read me in a sunrise, in a landscape, in the look of your friends, in your son's eyes, you will find me in no book. Stop asking me, will you tell me how to do my job? Stop being so scared of me. I do not judge you or criticize you, nor get angry or bothered. I am pure love. Stop asking for forgiveness. There's nothing to forgive. If I made you, I filled you with passions, limitations, pleasures, feelings, needs, inconsistencies, free will. How can I blame you if you respond to something I put in you? How can I punish you for being the way you are if I'm the one who made you? Do you think I could create a place to burn all my children who behave badly for the rest of eternity? What kind of loving God would do that? Respect your peers and don't do what you don't want for yourself. All I ask is that you pay attention in your life, that alertness is your guide. My beloved, this life is not a test, not a step on the way, not a rehearsal, not a prelude to paradise. This life is the only thing here and now, and it is all you need. I've set you absolutely free, no prizes or punishments, no sins or virtues. No one carries a marker, no one keeps a record. You are absolutely free to create in your life, heaven or hell. I can't tell you if there's anything after this life, but I can give you a tip. Live as if there is not, as if this is your only chance to enjoy, to have, to exist. So if there's nothing after, then you'll have enjoyed the opportunity I gave you. And if there is, rest assured that I won't ask you if you behaved right or wrong. I'll ask, did you like it? Did you have fun? What did you enjoy the most? What did you learn? Stop believing in me. Believing is assuming, guessing, imagining. I don't want you to believe in me. I want you to believe in you. I want you to feel me and you when you kiss your beloved, when you tuck in your little girl, when you caress your dog, when you bathe in the sea. Stop praising me. What kind of egomaniac God do you think I am? I'm bored being praised. I'm tired of being thanked. Feeling grateful? Prove it by taking care of yourself, your health, your relationships, the world. Express your joy. That's the way to praise me. Stop complicating things and repeating as a parakeet what you've been taught about me. What do you need more miracles for? So many explanations. Only thing for sure is that you are here, that you are alive, that this world is full of wonders. Baruch de Spinoza. I hope as I read that you were seeing the precepts and so much of what he was saying. And I I was taken aback with happiness at reading that. I thought, wow, this guy really got it. Now, of course, was he appreciated during his life? No. He was basically cast out by everybody in his hometown and had to live out his days relatively far away in Amsterdam as a tutor and a lens grinder. Now, lens grinder doesn't sound really exciting, except that was pretty high tech stuff for back then. So I suppose he lived fairly well. The writer of an article about Spinoza that I read said that Spinoza forgot that people like tradition. They like the big fancy buildings. They like the rigmarole and the ceremonies. So it's hard to get them to live free the way he recommended. Hmm. So many people like to follow. Hmm. At least the fires are over now, and mostly on the West Coast. There's still some, but the smoke is gone and almost everywhere. The smoke is mostly gone, which is a nice thing. So we can breathe again, and the impurities that we did breathe in are hopefully being gotten rid of. And the climate change that's coming to the world, Buddha said everything has changed. To be attached to anything staying the same is to suffer, is to feel dissatisfaction at the very least, and agony at the worst. Yes, grief and agony. So the precepts hopefully help us have a way to find a middle route between the huge highs and the terrible lows. Not that I mind the huge highs, but the terrible lows. Ramana had it right. Be silent unless you really have something to say and live at peace. How hard is that to do in this world, huh? Well, hopefully the peace part comes, even if we have to talk more often than Ramana did. Well, almost everybody has to talk more than Ramana did. Okay, well, let's end this session with the four measurables. So we'll start with I and then move to we afterwards. So please repeat after me. May I have happiness in the causes of happiness. May I be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May I never be separate from the happiness that is free of sorrow. May I reside in equanimity, free of attachment and aversion. And I look outside, and right within 100 yards is I-5, the northernmost of the wonderful interstate highways that Eisenhower put across the country, east to west and north to south. Excuse me, did I say I-5? Oh, God. This is I-90. I'm sorry. I-5 goes from Mexico to Canada along the Pacific. I-90 goes along the Canadian border all the way across the country, pretty much. Not along it, but close to it relatively. Yeah. So sometimes the freeways are right. Sometimes the little roads are right. Yeah. I prefer the little roads. Let's go to we now in the four measurables. So think of we as in yourself and people you love, people you like, your family, your friends. You can include people you don't like. You can focus on people you don't like, have a hard time with, loathe, despise. Hopefully, there aren't many of those, but you know what I mean. Maybe some politicians, maybe some dirty tricksters. It can be the whole universe, every sentient being, everything, whatever the we is for you. Okay. So the four measurables, envision the we, look one of them in the eyes as we start. May we have happiness in the causes of happiness. May we be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May we never be separate from the happiness that is free of sorrow. May we reside in equanimity, free of attachment and aversion. Oh, well, thank you for coming. Please do send questions, comments, things you'd like to hear about more. Um, Anything about the precepts or about things that are happening that you would like to hear about. Probably other people would like to hear about it too. So, thank you for coming. Enjoy the fall.